Halo guys, welcome back to my channel. Pada kesempatan konten kali ini, saya akan membahas soal latihan fisika, khususnya di topik static electricity, guys. Jadi seperti biasa, kalian boleh download soal latihan untuk worksheet kali ini di kolom di link yang sudah saya siapkan di bagian bawah, guys. Dan pastikan kalian tonton video ini sampai selesai untuk melihat bagaimana pembahasan dari masing-masing soal. Yuk, tanpa berlama-lama, kita akan langsung lihat dari soal yang pertama. Oke, jadi soal pertama ini basic konsepnya ya. Kita baca. Nomor satu, what is the difference between conductor and insulator? Ya, apa perbedaan utamanya? Jadi, kalau kalian tahu, untuk conductor di sini adalah bahan-bahan yang bisa membuat elektron itu freely to move. Sebaliknya, insulator itu adalah material atau bahan-bahan yang dimana di dalamnya itu elektronnya itu very difficult, hardly to move seperti itu. Ya, kalau kalian perhatikan ya, elektron itu kan ada di bagian luarnya seperti itu ya. Jadi kalau kalian masih ingat struktur inti atom, jadi di bagian tengah sini ada yang namanya proton dan neutron seperti itu, dan yang paling luar ini ada yang namanya elektron seperti itu. Ya, elektron ini bisa berpindah-pindah, tetapi inti atom itu sulit untuk berpindah. Ya, nah elektron ini bisa berpindah dengan mudah di konduktor, sedangkan insulator itu dia sulit berpindah seperti itu ya. Itu adalah main difference-nya. Kita lihat yang nomor 2. This atom is neutral, negatively charged or positively charged. Why? Nah, di sini kamu lihat ya. Di sini saya akan lakukan zoom ya. Nah, negatifnya itu mewakili elektronnya. Ada 6 buah elektron, sedangkan di bagian nukleus atau inti atomnya itu juga ada yang tandanya plus 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 ya, walaupun agak sedikit kurang jelas. So there are also 6 positive and there are 6 negative. So it means neutral. Yeah, this atom is neutral because numbers of electron equals to numbers of proton. Yeah. So when the atoms are neutral, it's because number of electron equals to number of protons. Whenever the numbers of electron is more than number of proton, it means they will be negatively charged. And otherwise, if numbers of electrons is less than numbers of proton, it means the atom is positively charged ya. Cukup mudah ya dihafalinnya ya. Jadi kalau elektronnya sama, berarti netral. Kalau elektronnya lebih sedikit dari protonnya, berarti dia positif. Karena protonnya lebih banyak ya. Ini positively charged. Gitu ya. Positif. Tapi kalau dia negatif, berarti artinya elektron lebih besar daripada protonnya. Seperti itu jumlahnya. Lanjut ke soal nomor 3. In polarizations, the object still neutral or become charged? Explain. Nah, polarizations itu hanya, still neutral ya, because the numbers of electrons still the same the numbers of protons ya. Polarized doesn't change the charge of the objects ya. Polarized itu adalah sebuah proses bagaimana elektron itu berpindah. Jadi misalkan seperti ini guys. Misalkan kalau kamu lihat benda di sini dia netral karena ada positif dan negatifnya. Nah, kemudian kalau dia terpolarize, misalkan positifnya jadi di sebelah kiri dan negatif sebelah kanan, nah ini artinya dia terpolarize tapi tetap masih netral ya. Hanya terpolarize aja. Terpolarize itu artinya kutub-kutubnya itu berbeda ininya ya, muatannya seperti itu. Oke, ini jawaban untuk nomor 1 dan nomor 3 basic konsepnya. Kita lanjut ke nomor 4, yaitu soal hitungan. Di sini kita diminta menghitung how many charge ya. Jadi calculate the charge of an object if it has sekian proton dan sekian elektron, guys. Nah, jadi di sini sudah ada satu charge of proton, value-nya itu bla 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 atau sekian columns. Nah, how do we calculate this one? Ya, how to determine the amounts of column. Nah, kita lihat karena di sini protonnya itu lebih banyak dibanding elektron, kita bisa kurangi ya. So the numbers of proton here ya, numbers of proton 8 kali 10 pangkat 17 kita akan ubah menjadi 8.000 kali 10 pangkat 14. Sedangkan numbers of electron is equals to 5 kali 10 pangkat 14. Karena lebih banyak protonnya kita kurangi. Berarti di sini 7995 kali 10 pangkat 14 ya. Ini numbers of proton yang lebih banyaknya, sisanya ya. So, the amount of charge itu tinggal dikalikan aja. Jadi tinggal dikalikan 7.995 kali 10 pangkat 14, kita kalikan dengan yang ini guys. Ya, saya kasih lihat yang dikalikan itu yang bagian yang ini. Ya. Jadi dikalikan berapa tuh? 1,6 kali 10 pangkat negatif 19, dan saya dapatkan, ya kalian boleh hitung pakai kalkulator ya. Ini hasilnya 0,1279 kalem guys. Ini jawaban untuk yang nomor 4 ya, first part-nya ya. Oke, kita lanjut ke bagian selanjutnya. Jadi intinya kamu harus menghitung ya, menghitung selisihnya terlebih dahulu. Kita lanjut ke bagian part setelahnya ini ya. Nah, kalau yang di sini dia bilang elektronnya sekarang lebih banyak. Kalau kamu perhatikan tuh ya, elektronnya itu lebih banyak sekarang. Berarti kamu bisa tulis elektronnya itu di bagian atas saja. 4 kali 10 pangkat 16. Jadi di sini saya jadikan 400 kali 10 pangkat 14. Untuk yang proton, karena dia lebih sedikit, nanti di sini 3 kali 10 pangkat 14. Ya, kita kurangi. Ini berarti jumlahnya lebih banyak elektronnya sekarang. So it should be negatively charged ya. Berarti di sini 397 kali 10 pangkat 14. Nah, ini lebih banyak elektronnya. So it means the amount of charge here itu tinggal dikalikan aja. 397 kali 10 pangkat 14, kamu kalikan dengan negatif 1,6 kali 10 pangkat negatif 19 ya, sesuai konversi yang ada dari tabel di atasnya, seperti itu ya. Saya coba highlight dulu. Nah, ini ya. Berarti jawabannya di sini saya dapetin adalah negatif 0,00635 kalem. Ya, please as usual, kalau misalkan saya ada salah hitung, tolong diralat ya guys ya. Misalkan saya salah menghitung, please diralat biar kita semua sama-sama bisa belajar. Dan lanjut ke bagian 4C. Nah, ini 4C contoh yang belum ada adalah yang kalau netral. Nah, ini kalau kamu perhatikan, jumlah proton dan elektronnya kan sama. Ya, jadi proton, number of protonnya, sama elektronnya itu kan sama. So, kalau dikurangin, itu ternyata tidak ada sisa. Berarti hasilnya adalah 0, guys. 0. So, berarti objeknya neutral ya. This is neutral object. Dan amount of charge-nya tidak ada ya, karena, oh sorry, amount of charge, amount of charge-nya, ini berarti ya tinggal 0 kali 1,6 kali 10 pangkat min 19. Tapi ini nggak ada ya, 0, 0 kalem seperti itu. Ya, cukup mudah untuk jawaban untuk yang di nomor 4. Nah, kita lanjut lagi ke pembahasan selanjutnya, ini tentang teori, yaitu tentang frictions, inductions, dan conductions method. So, number 1, food plastic wrap has larger electron affinity than nylon. If nylon is rubbed against plastic wrap, which will end up with excess negative charge or electrons. Yeah. So look, the keywords here is larger electron affinity. Yeah, the plastic has a larger electron affinity. So it means whenever the plastic is rubbed with nylon, so it means the electron from nylons will move to plastic because plastic has a larger electron affinity. So it means the object that will end up with excess atau kelebihan negative charge should be the plastic. Ya. Lanjut ke penjelasannya ya. Because ya electrons tends to move to object with large electron affinity seperti itu ya. Jadi kalau misalkan ada dua objek, kamu tinggal lihat guys, tinggal lihat mana yang lebih besar electron affinity-nya seperti itu. Ya. Kita lihat ke nomor 2. Number 2. A physics teacher rubs a glass object and felt cloth together, and the glass becomes positively charged. Which of the following statements are true or false? The glass gain protons during the rubbing process. Nah, kita lihat nih guys. The glass gain proton. It's a false one. It's because proton cannot move. Remember ya, this one is impossible. So remember, proton cannot move. Okay. B. The felt become charged negatively during the rubbing process. Yes, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Because the glass become positive, right? So it means the negative from the glass move to the cloth, felt cloth. Yeah. Next one, 2C. Charge is created during rubbing process. It is grabbed by more, charge hungry object. No, it's false. Yeah, the charge already inside the object. Yeah, it is not created during the rubbing process. Yeah, so it's false here. D. If the glass acquired a charge of positive 5 units, then the felt acquires a charge of negative 5 units. Ya, that's correct ya. So, jadi kalau dia kehilangan 5 elektron, yang satu lagi ketambahan 5 elektron. Ya, jadi pas. This event violates the law of conservation of charge. No, I don't think so. Ya, false ya. Because the first object become positive, the second one become negative ya. F. Electrons are transferred from glass to felt. Protons are transferred from. Okay, look, the first statement is correct, but the second one is wrong. Proton cannot move. Remember, proton cannot move, so it's false. Once charge is in this manner, the glass and the felt cloth should attract each other. Yes, that's true. It's because the first object is positive, the second one is negative. So different charge will attract each other. H. In general, glass material must have greater affinity for electrons than felt material. It is false. It's because glass, when rubbed with felt cloth, the cloths become negative. Ya, jadi greater affinity for electron. Jadi ini kebalik. Glassnya ini must less. Ya, should be less here. Less, not greater. Ya. Kita lanjut ke soal berikutnya di nomor yang ketiga. Okay. Which statement best explains why a rubber becomes negatively charged when rubbed with fur? Well, yeah, you can try to take your time to think about it. And the answer is, C. Molecules in the rubber have stronger attractions for electrons than the molecules in the fur. Seperti itu. Ya. Jadi bisa dibilang rubber itu rubber atau other explanations rubber has larger affinity electron compared to the fur, seperti itu. Ya, cukup mudah ya. Kita lanjut ke bagian berikutnya di nomor 4. A negatively charged balloon is brought near a neutral conducting sphere as shown below. As it approaches, charge within the sphere will polarize, distribute itself in a very specific manner. Which one of the diagrams, so it's a multiple choice questions here. Which one of the diagrams below properly depicts itu describe the distributions of the charge. Okay, so look, this is negatively charged balloon. If you cannot see, I'll try to make it clear for you. So this is negative, 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 negative. Yes. So which one is correct? The answer is C. It's because electron will repel negatively charged, and attract positively charged. The best answer you can do is C. Neutral sphere, it means it cannot, this is the, for option A and B, the sphere doesn't neutral, the sphere, the sphere should be neutral. Neutral means the numbers of proton equals to the numbers of electron, seperti itu. Jadi jawaban untuk yang C. Untuk nomor 4 jawabannya yang C, Oke, kita lanjut ke soal berikutnya. Soal nomor 5. Two neutral conducting pop cans are touching each other. A positively charged balloon is brought near one of the cans as shown below. The cans are separated while the balloon is nearby as shown after the balloons. Ya, kalian bisa baca. Nah, when the touching again, can X is, nah kita lihat ya guys ya, what is happening here? Yeah, from the beginning, as you can see, this is the positive charge. So when the balloon is brought near to the left of can X, it means the negatively will be on this side, negative. Okay, there is still positive here. Okay, I'll try to draw once again here. What's happening? This is the positive. So the negative part should be left. Yeah, the proton here, there is a proton, and also proton here, right? Because the proton cannot move. Yeah, the proton still in the center. Yeah, we assume. And the negative part should be on the left side, can X. Jadi ketika dipindah seperti ini, ya, can X-nya menjadi negatif. Ya, in the second picture here you can see can X itu negatif karena dia kebanyakan elektronnya. But after the balloon is removed and the cans are brought back together, and then the negative will distribute itself, goes to the right again. So the can back to neutral. Yeah, the x-axis, we can explain that the excess electron in the left can move again to the right can, just like that. Okay? Continue to the next one. Number 6. Two neutral conducting pop cans are touching each other. A positively charged glass rod is brought near can X as shown below. Which of the following occur as the glass rod approaches can X? Please that apply. So it means that the correct answer could be more than one. All right. So firstly, this one cannot. Proton cannot jump. Okay. Okay, so Oke. Di sini tidak ada jawaban yang betul, berarti jawabannya yang nonsense. Ya, it's because the electron will move from can Y into can X ya, since it attracted by positive charge in the rod, just like that. That's the answer for number 6. Continue with number 7. What is ground means in electricity? Yeah, this is a theory. So ground is usually defined as an infinite source for charge or a place where excess of electrons can be neutralized. So please imagine if you ever been to some apartment or hotel, the structure of the building, they have, yeah. In Indonesia, we call it as a penangkal petir, you know, penangkal petir. But the name, yeah, the name is different with how it works. It's the penangkal petir invites the thunder to strike the rod here, and yeah, the excess of electrons, yeah, will transfer into the ground. Yeah, this process called as grounding. Yeah, so when the thunder strikes the penangkal petir here, the excess of electrons, yeah, is transferred into the ground through wire. So you could imagine if there is no penangkal petir maybe in your houses, something like that, the thunder could strike anywhere into your buildings of house. And yeah, it could damage your electrical appliances, I guess. It's very dangerous, you know. So it's better for you to install the penangkal petir at your houses, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so next one, number 8. A positively charged balloon is brought near to a neutral conducting sphere as shown below. While the balloon is near, the sphere is touched or grounded. Yes, at this point, there is a movement of electron. So electrons move. Yeah, this is the correct answer, yeah. A, yeah. So the explanation is electron in the sphere in the left sides, proton in the right sides. So when there's polarizations, yeah, here is the positive part and this is the negative part. As you can see here, I zoom, yeah. Take a look. So this is positive. Oh, sorry. Electron should be in the left side. Sorry. It's because the balloon is positive, right? So it means negative, positive, positive. Okay. Once again, I zoom in. So the balloon positive, the electrons inside the neutral sphere, elektronnya ada di sebelah kiri, ya. Nah, when you touch the right side of the sphere now, the electron from the ground is going up because of the protons you touch. Yeah, because you touch on the right side. The right side consists of protons, so it means the electrons from your hand jump off to the sphere. So electron moves from the ground due to the proton in the right side we touch. Okay, so after that, yeah, later, yeah, the sphere will become negatively charged. It's because they have a lot of more electrons compared to the protons. Okay. This process, this whole process, number 8, we call it as induction method of charging. Okay. Okay. We continue number 9. A positively charged piece of styrofoam is placed on the table. A neutral aluminum pie plate is brought near as shown below. While held above the styrofoam, the aluminum plate is touch grounded. What is the charge of aluminum plate now? Okay, the answer is negative. Yeah, why? Because the electron in aluminum in the lower sides, proton is in the upper sides. Yeah, electron move from the hand due to the proton in the upper sides we touch, just like that. Okay, and wait a minute. Is it the, oh no, okay, we still have some questions. Number 10. A neutral metal sphere is touched by a negatively charged metal rod. During the process, electrons are transferred from blah, blah, blah to blah, 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 and the sphere acquires, okay. So the answer is C. Electrons will move from the rod to sphere, and finally the sphere become negative charge. Okay. Number 11, a neutral metal sphere is touched by a positively, okay, so look, please take a look ya. Di sini, neutral metal sphere, just like this, there is positive and there is a negative. Touch, when the touch here, touch is the keyword. This charging method, we call it as a conduction. Okay, conduction. Yeah, number 8 is inductions. Number 10 is conductions. Number 11 is also conductions. Yeah, a neutral metal sphere is touched by a positively charged. Okay, so it means the answer here is, yeah, nonsense. Yeah, because proton cannot move. As you can see here, look, ada jebakan. Protons are transfers. It's nonsense. Yeah, because number 10 describes-nya difference. Number 10, electrons are transferred. That's correct. Yeah. Number 11, protons cannot move. Yeah, it's nonsense. All right, so finally number 12. This is the last one. Yay. So a metal sphere is electrically neutral. It is touched by a positively charged metal rod. As a result, the metal sphere becomes charged positively. Which of the following occur during the process? Is all that apply? It means the answer could be more than one. So the answer here is B and C. Because electron from the sphere move to rod and the sphere become positive because loses its electron, guys. Okay, so I think that's all for this content. So, bagaimana guys? Jika kalian masih ada yang bingung sejauh ini tentang pembahasannya, silakan langsung ditanyakan di WA atau di kolom komentar guys ya. Pastikan kalian terus mengikuti channel YouTube saya. Terima kasih sudah menonton video ini sampai selesai dan good luck buat kalian semuanya. Bye-bye.